Hey, good morning there, Sweet Peas. Basic Prepper Mom Myra. So I've heard a few comments, and funny enough, there was another preparedness type person that talked about this the other day, and I was like, okay, so it's not just me. It's not just, people around me or one person questioning this. But I've had a lot of people say, you can't prepare for the end of the world. Why would you want to prepare for the end of the world? It is what it is. It's going to happen. God's going to take control of everything. He's going to be the one in charge. And while I understand all that, while I agree with that, I'm not preparing for the end of the world, to be quite honest, because we can't prepare for the end of the world. That's not in our timeline. That's not for us to say. That's not for us to even prepare for in a preparedness type situation. Now, when you're talking spiritually, that's a whole nother topic. So yes, you can prepare spiritually, but stalking and storing is not going to do you any good when it comes to the end of the world. So why am I doing what I'm doing? Well, like I said, it is not for the end of the world, but I'm basically preparing for everything else, okay? I'm preparing for another lockdown situation, another pandemic situation, an economic collapse, a social collapse. Whatever you can think of out there, those are the types of things that I am prepared for, or that I want to be prepared for, including natural disasters. Now, we live in a very high wildfire area. So there is a threat of wildfire all the time in the summertime. Absolutely 100%. So I need to have a plan, not only for myself and my family and my animals to get out, but I also need to plan on how I'm going to bug out, where we're going to bug out to, basically, because that is a bug out situation, right? That is something that you need to bug out for. How I'm going to get stuff there, blah, 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 whatever that situation. They have had some major storms back east and throughout the Midwest. I was watching it live yesterday, one of the storm chaser channels, and I was absolutely, I'm gonna have to say, I was absolutely amazed and stunned at the amount of storm cells, but not just the amount of them all at once, but how widespread they were and how huge they were. They were absolutely just massive. They spread through Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas. They were going into Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky. It was a massive situation. There was a lot of stuff going on. So those are the types of things that I want to prepare for. The other thing that I want to bring up is that we were in a situation years ago when the kids were little, many years ago. We were in a situation where my husband and I both, for whatever circumstance, we were not working. He ended up having a major surgery, actually, and he was out of work for way longer than we expected, because it was more, once I got in there, it was more involved than what we thought. Anyway, he was off work. The babies were babies, my kids were babies, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and he was not even able to get around. He couldn't lift anything, so it wasn't like I could go to work, leave the kids with him. I had 2 in diapers. It was the perfect storm of crapness, basically. And there was a situation with his disability, and so there was quite a while where we had zero money coming in. We didn't really have any in savings at that time. We had zero money. So my preparedness, especially when it comes to food and medical and stuff like that, supplies, does stem from being in a situation where you can't afford food. And there was a time that we lived on literally spaghetti and meat sauce, whatever cheapest canned meat sauce there was, or spaghetti sauce, hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, and ramen. That's basically, that was our diet for quite a while. That's when we started looking into raising our own food, as far as especially meat sources, protein sources. I did a small garden, and it was somewhat successful. It wasn't hugely successful, and it didn't allow us to get a lot of provide a lot of nutrition for us, but you know, so that's kind of when I started thinking about we need to be prepared, because I don't ever want to be in a situation where I cannot feed my family, where I cannot feed my kids. And that is a horrible situation to be in. Absolutely horrible. So stocking up and storing up and things like that are for a multitude of reasons. We don't just, or I just don't do it because I think the world's going to end and we need to prepare, because yeah, there is no preparation for that. What's going to happen is going to happen. However, I can prepare for our emergency situations that we might have to go through. I can prepare as best I can to not only protect my family, but to make sure that they have what they need in whatever situation that we face. So we don't prepare for the end of the world because there is no preparation for that, to be quite honest, unless you're talking spiritually. But there's a lot of reasons that people are preppers. There, I said the word. I didn't say preparedness type person, I said preppers. There is a lot of reasons. There are a lot of reasons that people are preppers, and it could be as simple as a natural disaster, or their own economic, their own survival, their own family well-being. So keep that in mind when you come across these preppers out there, because not all of them are end of the world, doomsday type people. So that's what I have to talk about today. What kind of preparedness type person are you? What kind of prepper are you? Are you just an all-around prepper? Are you just somebody who just wants to make sure their family's taken care of and okay? Or do you truly believe that we are going to end up in a societal collapse and you are stalking for the end of the world? I don't know. Just curious. All right. That's all I have to talk about today. Hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing day. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.